I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow.
King Charles stunned the nation with a chilling announcement. Prince William will step back from royal duties for medical treatment. Within hours, the news raced across the world, leaving millions anxious and guessing. The Prince of Wales's standard beside the King hinted at something far more serious than anyone expected. What really happened behind those guarded palace doors? Why is the royal family hiding the true nature of his illness? Join us as we uncover the secrets behind this mysterious royal health crisis. Join us as we investigate the health crisis that has brought a royal family together in their most difficult moment. Royal drama unfolds now. The royal family has finally broken their silence about Prince William, revealing a situation more heartbreaking than anyone expected. For weeks, strange whispers have surrounded the palace while unusual quiet filled public events. But now the devastating reason has come to light. The prince, who was once known for his steadiness and bravery, now faces a challenge that even his royal position cannot shield him from. And according to palace insiders, this situation has deeply affected him. Behind the magnificent palace gates, something has permanently changed as Britain stands beside their future king in shared grief, though many wonder if he can overcome what lies ahead. On this particular morning, Windsor Castle was shrouded in thick gray mist that wrapped around the gates like a protective barrier, and the normally lively castle was eerily quiet without the usual sounds of daily activities. It seemed as if everything inside those historic walls had come to a complete standstill, while outside, groups of reporters gathered silently. The atmosphere felt unusually heavy and almost reverent, with the normal chatter reduced to murmurs as everyone watched the long driveway from the royal residence. At 7 o'clock, a black car slowly approached on the gravel path, and Princess Catherine stepped out wearing a simple but elegant coat buttoned tightly against the cold air, but without her typical warm smile or friendly wave. Her face looked pale, and her eyes seemed unfocused as she moved toward the car, with her head down, pausing briefly at the door, where her hand noticeably shook before she got inside. Inside the castle, the silence was almost overwhelming, with only the sound of the hallway clock breaking through the stillness as staff moved quietly throughout the building with pale faces. People throughout the castle exchanged meaningful glances without speaking because everyone knew something significant had happened. And in the private section of the castle, the royal nanny stood watching out the window with Prince George and Princess Charlotte. What terrible news about their father could possibly be causing such unprecedented concern throughout the entire royal household? Family crisis grips palace. The royal children remained in their pajamas looking out at the foggy gardens when Charlotte mentioned they weren't going to school. The nanny confirmed this arrangement with a nod, explaining they would stay home for family reasons, when George questioned why. Despite her reassuring words, she carried a heaviness inside as she noticed the worry on Catherine's face that had spread throughout the entire palace. Prince William had been missing from public view for several days since his last appearance at a London charity event, where attendees clearly remembered how pale and distant he looked before suddenly stopping mid-speech, touching his forehead, and leaving with a brief apology. The palace reportedly claimed William was simply feeling unwell, but according to royal observers, this brief explanation hasn't calmed the growing public speculation surrounding his extended absence. Sources close to the royal household allegedly heard Catherine's footsteps echoing through the marble hallway as she supposedly approached the king's private study. Witnesses claim she hesitated momentarily before knocking, though this detail remains unconfirmed by official sources. When asked about the meeting, one palace insider suggested King Charles invited her in with a subdued greeting, but the palace has declined to comment on these reports. According to unnamed staff members who spoke on condition of anonymity, Catherine allegedly found the monarch sitting near the window with a troubled expression, though royal experts caution that such descriptions are largely based on hearsay rather than verified accounts. Several tabloids have published claims that morning light illuminated the aging king's silver hair during this supposed meeting. But the royal family has yet to address these speculative reports about private conversations between family members. The weight of whatever royal crisis they faced hung heavily in the room as they sat together, seemingly caught between their public duties and a deeply personal family matter that threatened to change everything. The usually confident royal family now appeared vulnerable and uncertain about how to navigate this unfolding situation while trying to protect the youngest members from difficult truths that would eventually need to be addressed despite the king's reluctance. How would the palace manage such a delicate announcement without causing widespread panic? The royal announcement. Sources claim to have seen Catherine fidgeting nervously with her hands. According to palace insiders who spoke on condition of anonymity, the sound of her wedding ring could allegedly be heard in the otherwise silent room. Multiple sources suggest she asked about telling them something, though what this refers to remains unconfirmed. The king reportedly hesitated before answering, "Not yet," according to individuals supposedly familiar with the conversation. Royal watchers noticed unusual activity downstairs, where the communications team allegedly gathered with papers and constantly buzzing phones, reportedly preparing a brief statement with no details, as instructed by senior officials. One unnamed aide with tired eyes purportedly stated this situation will change everything, though palace representatives have not verified this claim. At precisely 4 p.m., journalists observed a royal spokesperson stepping outside to deliver what many described as a suspiciously brief message. The royal family requests privacy as they deal with a personal matter involving the Prince of Wales. Reporters present at the scene described a sudden silence falling over the crowd as rain intensified. Media outlets noted how journalists appeared unsure whether to question further or respect the clearly limited information being provided. Several staff members reportedly glimpsed Catherine standing alone by a window in a dimly lit corridor after the announcement. One palace insider allegedly overheard her whisper, "Please, William, just come back to us," though official channels have neither confirmed nor denied this account. As evening approached, observers noted the castle lights appearing faintly through thickening fog, while servants were seen closing curtains and securing doors throughout the residence. Weather reports confirmed a cold wind sweeping through the area around Sandringham Estate that evening, though meteorologists made no connection to the royal situation. Former royal correspondents have suggested the unusually secretive atmosphere indicates something potentially serious involving Prince William, though such speculation remains unsubstantiated by any official source. Public relations experts interviewed by several news outlets point out that such limited information often precedes either very personal family matters or potentially concerning health situations, but caution against jumping to conclusions without further details from Buckingham Palace. Journalists acknowledge that the family deserves privacy during what appears to be a difficult time, regardless of what might be happening behind palace walls. Royal family faces crisis. According to other sources close to the palace, Sandringham House was unusually quiet. Insiders claim the royal family gathered for what appeared to be a serious matter that nobody would discuss openly. Staff members reportedly moved carefully through the residence, trying not to disturb the tense atmosphere that had settled over the royal home. Witnesses suggest King Charles sat by the fireplace in the drawing room, looking visibly exhausted, while Queen Camilla allegedly sat across from him, stirring tea she wasn't drinking. "Has there been any word from Catherine?" she reportedly asked, to which Charles supposedly responded that Catherine was still with William. Palace sources claim a private secretary then entered to announce Prince Harry's arrival. Harry reportedly entered with a damp coat from the rain, having flown in quickly after hearing the news. One palace employee described the scene as remarkably informal. No photographers, no media presence, just a family reunion during what appeared to be a difficult time. Sources say Charles placed a hand on Harry's shoulder and thanked him for coming. Multiple insiders report that after Camilla left the room, Harry asked what happened, and Charles allegedly explained that William had been unwell for weeks and had pushed himself too hard despite Catherine's concerns. Palace sources claim Charles revealed that William was now under medical observation, though doctors provided little additional information. Staff members reportedly heard Catherine driving from Windsor to a private clinic near London every morning, where Prince William was apparently being treated. Those who saw her described red eyes from crying and a forced smile whenever cameras caught her. One nurse claimed to have seen Catherine sitting beside William in his room, holding his hand while machines hummed in the background. Back at Sandringham, the royal family allegedly stayed out of public view with curtains drawn and calls unanswered. Sources claim Queen Camilla visited the chapel each morning to light a candle, while King Charles spent hours looking out at the gardens where William played as a child. One staff member reportedly heard laughter coming from the nursery one afternoon, suggesting the children were being kept occupied during this difficult time. Royal commentators note this level of privacy and cancelled engagements typically indicates a serious family situation, though the palace has released only minimal information about Prince William's condition or treatment. These private moments show a family dedicated to helping William while trying to keep things normal for the kids, leading to concerns about how this situation could affect the royal family's public role and relationships in the future. Royal crisis unfolds publicly. Sources claim the press gathered outside the palace gates had begun spreading rumors about Prince William's condition, with speculation ranging from collapse to secret diagnoses. Royal watchers note that the family's brief request for understanding and privacy sent concern throughout the nation, with William's name appearing in every headline and newsreader when mentioning his title. Inside the palace, insiders suggest the family's world had narrowed to gossips and waiting as they dealt with this undisclosed situation. According to staff members who allegedly overheard conversations, Queen Camilla urged Charles to rest, but he reportedly refused, saying he kept seeing William as a young boy running through the halls whenever he closed his eyes. Palace sources claim Camilla tried reassuring him that William was strong and would recover, but Charles supposedly expressed fear about losing another piece of this family. Around midnight, witnesses reported seeing a car arrive quietly at the gates as Catherine returned from the hospital, describing her as having swollen eyes and moving slowly. When asked about William's condition, she allegedly told the family he was fighting but tired, which reportedly brought relief to Harry. Weeks into the crisis, reporters lined the gates at Kensington Palace as Catherine made a rare public appearance that morning. Those present described her as appearing composed but with red eyes from apparent sleepless nights, pale skin, and careful movements. Witnesses claim her hands visibly trembled as she adjusted the microphone before thanking everyone for their love and kindness, which had meant more to the family than she could express. According to journalists present, Catherine's voice cracked as she acknowledged the difficult weeks her family had experienced, and a tear reportedly rolled down her cheek, which she made no attempt to hide. Sources claim she stated William was receiving the best care possible before asking people to keep him in your hearts. Royal correspondents observed that her composure appeared to slip as she returned to her waiting car. While the palace has still not disclosed the nature of Prince William's condition, this rare emotional appearance by Catherine has fueled speculation about the seriousness of the situation, with medical experts cautioning against speculation without official information. This public display of emotion from the normally composed princess shocked many observers, leaving many to wonder just how serious his health crisis might be and why the palace continues to withhold specific details. Brothers unite amid crisis. Sources claim she cried silently during the drive to St. Mary's Hospital, where she allegedly visited William daily. Hospital staff describe her sitting beside his bed for hours, holding his hand and speaking softly to him while he remained unresponsive. Witnesses say Catherine reminisced about their family memories that afternoon, mentioning a garden at Anmer Hall where their children chased butterflies, reminding him of a promise to return there in summer. The hospital room reportedly contained flowers beside the window, with Catherine allegedly fighting back tears as she looked at William's face. According to sources close to the family, Catherine struggled with her children's questions at home, with George asking when his father would return, Charlotte wondering if he was sleeping, and young Louis repeatedly asking where his daddy had gone. Despite their reported estrangement, Harry apparently visited William at the hospital. When he entered the room, sources claim he paused at the sight of his brother lying motionless in the hospital bed. Catherine allegedly told Harry that William would be glad you're here before leaving them alone together. Multiple sources suggest Harry sat beside the bed in silence before finally speaking to his unconscious brother. Those familiar with the conversation claim Harry acknowledged William as the strong one and admitted he should have said it before, that William had held everything together. The family, the name, even when it wasn't fair. His voice reportedly broke as he pleaded with his brother not to leave them. This rare moment between the brothers marks a significant shift in their relationship, according to royal observers, though the palace has not commented on Harry's visit or William's current condition as the family continues to request privacy during this difficult time. This private shows how a crisis can dissolve old conflicts, with many wondering if this unexpected reunion might lead to lasting reconciliation or if the tensions will return once the immediate danger passes. Nation rallies behind royals. Sources claim Catherine returned to find Harry still at William's bedside with tears in his eyes, simply stating, "He's fighting." That same night, reports indicate the palace released an official statement that was broadcast worldwide, confirming Prince William was receiving ongoing treatment for a serious health condition with family by his side, which was later retracted. News outlets describe how the announcement sparked immediate global reaction, with headlines changing instantly and people pausing to listen as the news spread. According to witnesses, candles began appearing outside St. Mary's Hospital. First, just a few, then hundreds, as strangers gathered together in vigil. Hospital staff reportedly observed Catherine watching the crowds from the window before turning back to William's bedside. Sources close to the princess claim she whispered to her unconscious husband about the people waiting for him, expressing her own hope that he would come back to us, as the machines continued in the background. Without issuing a formal statement, Catherine apparently broke the silence by sharing a single photograph on official royal social media, a simple image of her hand holding William's with the caption, "Only together," which quickly went viral. Later that evening, news programs were interrupted as King Charles addressed the nation, speaking, "Not as your king, but as a father," according to broadcast transcripts. Sources present claim. Queen Camilla stood supportively nearby as Charles reportedly praised his son's courage and thanked the public for their compassion, reminding everyone that behind royal titles they are simply a family bound by love, hope, and faith. Could this single intimate photo of joined hands be the moment the monarchy finally learned that authenticity connects with the public far more powerfully than carefully crafted statements? Nation unites. For William, reports show that Prince Harry and Meghan released a brief statement from California saying, "Our thoughts are with William, Catherine, and the entire family. We send love and strength during this difficult time." Media analysts noted how the simple message seemed to temporarily set aside past family tensions as public concern for William grew. The next morning, Newspapers across the country reportedly ran headlines like, "For William we stand together," as communities showed support through church bells, school assemblies, and moments of silence in shops and businesses. People gathered in growing numbers outside St. Mary's Hospital, where flowers allegedly covered the gates and strangers stood together holding candles. Sources claim the royal family reunited inside, with Catherine sitting by William's bedside while King Charles stood by the window. According to those familiar with the situation, formal titles seemed to disappear as the family focused entirely on William's condition, while millions across Britain waited for news of his recovery. Around midnight, hospital staff reportedly observed Catherine refusing to leave William's side despite gentle encouragement to rest. Sources claim she spoke softly to her unconscious husband about their children, telling him that George asked about you again and wanted to know when his father would come home. She allegedly mentioned Charlotte drawing pictures for every day you're away, and Louis saving all his hugs, while tearfully admitting, "They need you." We all do. Meanwhile, insiders suggest King Charles kept a photograph of Diana with young William nearby during this difficult time. Royal commentators note this crisis has seemingly united not just the royal family, but the entire nation in support of William's recovery. Medical experts interviewed by news outlets caution that while public concern is understandable, the family's request for privacy should be respected as they navigate what appears to be a serious health situation. Does King Charles keeping Diana's photo nearby during William's health crisis reveal not just a touching family moment, but also his deep-seated fear of losing another loved one? Royal recovery brings relief. According to palace sources, Prince William has made a remarkable recovery and returned to his royal duties after weeks of medical treatment. Royal commentators note this unexpected turnaround has brought immense relief throughout the nation, following the intense concern surrounding his undisclosed health condition. The prince was reportedly spotted attending his first public engagement since his hospitalization, a charity function at St. James's Palace, where witnesses described him as looking noticeably thinner, but in good spirits, while thanking the public for their support during his illness. Royal correspondents claim William has been seen multiple times around London in recent days, including a surprise appearance at a children's hospital where he allegedly spent over an hour speaking with young patients. Catherine has reportedly remained closely by his side during these appearances, with sources suggesting she still watches him carefully despite his recovery. Insiders say the couple was photographed walking hand-in-hand through Kensington Gardens, with Catherine appearing visibly relieved while William stopped several times to greet well-wishers who expressed delight at seeing him back in public. The prince reportedly made an unscheduled visit to Westminster Abbey last weekend, where onlookers described him kneeling briefly in prayer before lighting a candle. Royal experts suggest this private moment of reflection indicates the profound impact his health scare has had on him personally. According to those present at recent engagements, William has repeatedly expressed gratitude for the overwhelming public support, which he allegedly credits as having carried him through the darkest moments of his illness. Just yesterday, multiple witnesses reported seeing the entire Cambridge family at Windsor Castle, with Prince George and Princess Charlotte running ahead, while William carried Prince Louis on his shoulders. Royal photographers captured the moment when King Charles embraced his son publicly, an unusually emotional display that speaks to the family's relief. While the palace has still not disclosed the exact nature of William's condition, sources close to the family suggest his recovery has brought a renewed sense of unity to the monarchy and demonstrated the genuine connection between the royal family and the British people who stood together during this challenging time. Will William's case change how the palace handles health announcements in the future? Royal health scares. Reports indicate the British royal family has faced numerous health challenges over the years, with Prince Philip experiencing perhaps the most publicized issues before his death. The Duke of Edinburgh allegedly suffered a blocked coronary artery in 2011 that required emergency surgery, followed by multiple hospitalizations in his final years. Sources claim Queen Elizabeth II dealt with several undisclosed health concerns during her reign, including a hospital stay in October 2021 that forced her to cancel a trip to Northern Ireland, though palace officials provided minimal details about her condition. King Charles has reportedly experienced several health scares throughout his life, with sources noting he contracted COVID-19 twice and underwent treatment for an enlarged prostate in January 2025. According to palace insiders, the king received a more serious diagnosis shortly afterward, though specific details were initially kept private. Princess Catherine allegedly faced severe hyperemesis gravidarum during all 3 pregnancies, requiring hospital treatment for the extreme morning sickness that left her unable to perform royal duties for extended periods. The younger royals have not been immune to health challenges either. Prince Harry reportedly sought therapy for mental health struggles following his mother's passing away, while Meghan Markle disclosed experiencing self-harm thoughts during her time as a working royal. According to sources close to the family, Princess Anne was hospitalized in 2020 after a horse kicked her during a riding accident at her country estate, causing concerns due to her age. Royal observers note these health scares often reveal the human side of the monarchy, temporarily setting aside the pageantry. Medical experts interviewed by various outlets suggest the royal family faces the same health vulnerabilities as any family, despite their privileged position. While the palace typically provides minimal information during these situations, the public response consistently shows genuine concern for the individuals behind the titles, as demonstrated during Prince William's recent health crisis, which reportedly brought the nation together in support of his recovery. How will the monarchy balance tradition with transparency as younger royals potentially face their own health issues in the future? Royal health struggles continue. Queen Mother Elizabeth reportedly faced several serious health issues in her later years, including persistent hip problems that required surgery when she was 95. Sources claim she also battled breast cancer in the 80s, though the palace never officially confirmed this diagnosis. Her resilience became legendary as she continued public duties well past her 100th birthday, despite these challenges, according to royal biographers. Princess Margaret allegedly experienced numerous health problems throughout her life, with reports indicating she suffered a serious stroke in 1998 that affected her mobility. Royal watchers note she later endured multiple strokes before her death in 2002, along with lung issues reportedly linked to her heavy smoking. According to former palace staff, Margaret's declining health forced her to withdraw from public life in her final years, though she maintained her spirited personality in private. Prince Edward reportedly collapsed during a charity event in 2018, though palace sources quickly attributed this to temporary dehydration rather than a serious condition. Lady Louise Windsor, daughter of Prince Edward and Sophie, was born with esotropia that required corrective surgery, while Prince William himself allegedly suffered a depressive episode following his mother's death, according to close friends who spoke to royal biographers. Princess Eugenie has openly discussed her scoliosis diagnosis and the corrective surgery she underwent as a child, showing her scars during her wedding by choosing a dress that revealed rather than concealed them. Royal health experts note the family's increasing willingness to discuss certain health challenges marks a shift toward greater transparency, though they still maintain privacy around serious diagnoses. The public's reaction to these health scares consistently demonstrates how medical challenges humanize the monarchy and often generate sympathy even from those typically critical of the institution. What do you think really happened behind palace doors? Do you think the royal family can ever recover if anything happens to any member of the monarchy now? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.